from Naomi's Home Health. I wanted to share a story with you about, I'm always talking about listening to your body and listening to cues and signs and symptoms. That is your body saying, hey, something's going on here, find out what it is. So I have spent the last sort of week 7 hours up the east coast of Australia with my daughter. She went away for a representative sort of football team, football or OzTag we call this type of football that she was playing over here. And anyway, the day I got there, we're heading over to the fields and I felt really unwell and I had this pain in my side and I thought, oh, it's like in the ovary area, maybe I've got something going on there. But I was immersed in what I was doing with my daughter, put her first and just kept going. That day, I didn't eat for 2 days. I was really sick. I had the pain come and go. It'd go and I'd be like, oh, it's gone. I'll be fine. It'd come back. I didn't sleep much at night because the pain was coming and going. So I wasn't listening to the signals that my body was giving me like, hey, Naomi, something's wrong. And I'm a massive advocate for that. But we all have our times where we just brush things aside. So I wanted to share it with you, to share with you what happens when you don't listen to your body. And, I'm very much into my health and all those things, but sometimes we slip. Sometimes we're just human. So the day that we were leaving, I felt so unwell. I woke up in the morning, I was in agony, like labour, like I would probably be in labour before this pain. So I had taken a friend with me up the coast and I said, look, you've got to take me to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, was there for a few hours in immense pain, bringing up bile, like so sick. And I found out I had a kidney stone. So for me, when I find out what's going on in my body, what's wrong, it takes a lot for me to go to a hospital because I don't have a lot of trust in doctors and hospitals after what I went through trying to heal my thyroid and getting no help, no answers, and getting told it was all in my head. So I have lost faith. So that is why I kind of held back going from the hospital a bit too, because I thought, what are they going to do for me? They're going to tell me that it's all in my head. They're going to tell me I'm crazy, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't go. And anyway, the kidney stone, they were going to operate that day, but they didn't. And they're saying, right, it'll come out. It's 4 millimeters wide and 9 millimeters long. So anyway, I had to have my family drive all the way up the coast, 7 hours to come and get me. I couldn't get back. I'm exhausted. I'm really exhausted today. But what I do when something happens in my body is, what is this bringing up for me? How did this happen? What is the cause? I wanted to look into why this happened. Because I'm not just going to go, oh, I've got a kidney stone, let it pass and then move on. No, what did I do wrong? It was something that I was doing wrong. Taking the onus on myself and saying, I haven't been listening to my body, I haven't been giving it the right things to, be healthy. So I looked into it. Too much protein is the physical side of it. And for me, when I don't love eating meat and I thrive on fruits and vegetables, but I'm a single mom. So I started making, eating what I make the kids. I cook really healthy food for the kids. But when it comes to eating meat, I just don't feel fantastic. Sometimes I don't feel bad, but I feel so much better when I just eat vegetables and rice and stuff like that. So too much protein. My body's just going, I don't like that much protein. And I didn't eat a lot. It was just that it just doesn't like it. I think there must be something that my body just doesn't take to, but it thrives on vegetables. So I wasn't listening to my body when it, my body's going, oh, I don't really want to eat that. But I'm a single mom. I don't want to cook 2 meals, and food's expensive. I'm trying to be economical, all of those things. A lot of things come into play, as we all know, when we are trying to be healthy. So I totally resonate with everybody that has that same issue with spending money on health. It is an investment, but when it's so expensive to eat well, like, what do we do? So I thought, no, well, it's going to cost me more to be sick than it is to be well. And I know that, but it was just something I have to keep reminding myself. The other thing I looked at is, what is the emotional reason behind this? Why is it coming up for me emotionally? And fear is related to kidney issues. And so I sat with that and I wrote down the things that I am in fear of at the moment, or the things that I could be fearing. And obviously being a single mum is a fear. Like, you know, yes, thanks Donna. Hi Donna, how are you, gorgeous lady? You know, the fear of finances. I run my own business. Am I going to be able to continue to do this while I'm a single parent? And am I going to be able to feed my kids? And am I going to be able to pay for my house? What's going to happen to my house? You know, everything's getting so expensive. That's another fear. So I've started to really sit with fears that I could have been ignoring. Like, I do a lot of emotional work, but I hadn't been diving into this, because when these things come up, like the fear of cost of living, for example, you don't think about how it can affect you emotionally. And so I really need to work with that, because being a single mum, you just don't know what's going to happen next. And these are some, I know I do get hard on myself, but I like to know that what have I done to cause this problem, and how can I manage it better? How can I prevent it? How can I feel better? I don't like to be sick, and I like to know what's going on in my body. So I take the blame. You know, I'm not going to just go, my body failed me. I've done something wrong here, and I want to work on that. And for me, we're always healing. And, you know, this is not about my thyroid. This is not about my hormones. This is about a kidney issue now. So we have to be mindful that health is a whole package of why we are doing and listening to our bodies, why we do that. It becomes, you can get so focused on what your current issues are that we forget that other issues can arise if we're not supporting our body in the right way. So that, for me, like, you know, I get so focused on not bringing that Hashimoto's back or something, and being healthy, that I should have really started to listen to my body and gone, you know what, you probably are better off a vegetarian, because your body tells you that most of the time anyway. Even if I eat meat once a week, that would be fine. I don't have to go be vegan. I don't have to, you know, but if my body, I get a feeling if I look at a menu, for example, say I'm at a Thai restaurant and I go, I really feel like I want the vegetable laksa, for example. I have that, but sometimes you don't. You go, oh, maybe I should have a bit of protein with it, or whatever. You know, you other things come into your mind, other people, other information. You get a lot of stuff that comes and blurs your vision. So it's really, really more important to just think about, not like, oh, I'm going to put on weight if I eat this, or oh, you know, is this going to affect my hormones? It's about what your body's telling you. If I get that feeling of, I don't want to eat meat, don't eat it, kind of thing, if that makes any sense. You drop in the comments if it makes sense. Like, do you get these feelings of, I can't have that, or I shouldn't be running because running's not good for me, or that gives me anxiety? Whatever it is are these things that come up for you? Like, I never ever have considered fear as an emotional response. I've looked into a lot of things, you know, with my divorce and things like that, and I've worked a lot on that, but I didn't look at the future of my emotional response to the future. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen with kids? What's going to happen with me? What's going to happen with the house? You know, or even business wise. Like, it's a lot to work with people who are sick. It's a lot to help people, and it's my absolute favorite thing to do. But, you know, do people trust that I can help them? You know what I mean? All these fears, like, that I don't even consider, and I should have probably stepped into that a little bit. So I just wanted to share it with you, because I didn't listen to my body. I didn't go to the hospital when I probably should have. I put my daughter first, and the fear of hospitals and doctors, of them telling me there's nothing wrong with you, because that's what they have done to me for such a long time. So I had that fear of going to them and being made out like, I actually thought they're going to tell me there's nothing wrong anyway. So it was kind of like a past trauma bringing up a fear for me that I haven't dealt with. It's a PTSD of doctors and how they treated me and how they made me feel about myself. I haven't dealt with that. So, and that just came in then. I need to deal with trusting some doctors again, or that, you know, not everything is going to be, I'm not going to be made out to be like that all the time. And I honestly, when I went to the hospital, the doctors and nurses were fantastic. Like, they helped me. I did have to wait in the waiting room for a long time, and I was in so much pain, and I was vomiting into this bright green bile into this bag, and it was really uncomfortable. But I think I was in fear in that waiting room too. Like, when I get in there, what are they going to do? I fear medication. I fear, you know, all these fears, because I don't want to give anything to my body that it doesn't like. And medication in my mind is a chemical, and I don't want to do that. So I have to really let go of a lot of the things that happened to me when I was sick. I have to really start to trust a little bit that not every doctor is going to make me feel like a hypochondriac. And if I have another issue, you know, go and get integrated. So get the medical profession to help me, but also then now I can sit back and go, right, well, they've given me a diagnosis. I can work with this, and I can work with them. I can work, you know, I can work with a lot of things. So taking away that, putting a little bit of the responsibility back onto myself, saying I should have went, but I wanted to just be there with my daughter. She was awesome, amazing, playing football, and she was telling me, Mum, you need to go back to the hotel room, go and rest. And I was like, no, you know, I'll be fine. Like, and then when I went into hospital, she got actually to see her, how scared she was of, I was in agony. And I'm not someone who is very vocal about being sick. So if I'm sick, I just get on with it a lot of the time, or I'll just rest. But I was rolling around in pain and throwing up, and so for her to see me vulnerable and unwell was a real eye-opener for her. So I should be showing her it's okay to allow other people to help you to get better. And, you know, don't fear doctors, don't fear hospitals, don't fear medication. Just allow yourself to be helped and go from there. But also work on what I've done. So get the help from the doctors, and then now, like this morning, I had my celery juice. Last night when I got home after a big drive, I was craving broccoli, so I had broccoli. I had veggies. This morning I had a lot of fruit, all the things that my body really, really loves. And now for the next few days, I will work on that emotional side as well. So I'm very, very good with the physical. Emotional, I still, you know, we all struggle with that. I think that's a big one, but it's something I'm going to work on. So watch this space. If you have any ideas for me to work on the fear, let me know. I'd love to hear from you, because I love learning, and I love learning from all of you. And yeah, I just wanted to share it, because I want you to know that, you know, healing's not just like this, it's like this. You know, we're always healing from something. Our body is always trying to get better, and sometimes we don't give it the right tools or the right practices or whatever it is. And I didn't, and I did not listen. And I'm always telling you guys to listen. So I'm going to take responsibility for that and say, you can tell me now, Naomi, listen to your body. So yeah, if you have any ideas, love to hear them. And thank you all for always supporting me.